Who do you say that I am? A little over 9 years ago, I was ordained a deacon, so most people call me Deacon now. It's an easy first name to remember, sort of like Monsignor Hoy or we call him Monsignor for Monsignor Hoy, or Father for Father Wyndham or Costa. In fact, a lot of people call me Father too. I can sort of tell who's on vacation here by who says, nice Mass, Father, on the way out. Even people at the hospital call me Father when I tell them that I'm a Catholic chaplain there. And I love being able to respond and saying, yes, I'm a father, but I'm also a grandfather. So what's in a name? It's interesting that people call you different names depending upon the time that you met them. It says a lot about who you are. Most friends call me Greg. My sister calls me Gregory John. I wanted to choose my first name, Gregory, for my confirmation name, but they wouldn't allow that at the time, so being a little bit rebellious, I chose my second name, John. So therefore, she calls me Gregory John. And I'm not sure if I like that, but I have a couple of names for her, so I guess we're even. Being in the military for 27 years, I acquired several names, including Lieutenant. Started with that. Now, even though I've been retired for almost 15 years, most of the people I still know still call me Colonel Beckel. One name that I was given is sort of interesting. My call sign was the Deacon. That was 20 years before I became an actual deacon. That's a story for another time. There are many names that I've acquired over the years, and they all say something about me, like son or dad, or Mr. Beckel from some of my kids' friends who I've known since they were born, and they still call me Mr. Beckel, even though they have children of their own. My wife often calls me honey or dear. That's when I've been good. And sometimes I don't feel like I deserve those names, but I do try to live up to them. We all like to know what people think of us, and usually we can tell what they think of us by the names that they address us with. In today's gospel, Jesus is sort of wondering the same thing. So he asks his disciples, who do people say the Son of Man is? So far in Jesus' ministry, he has taught in the temple as a 12-year-old and astounded the teachers with his understanding of the scriptures. He's performed many miracles, driven out demons, healed the sick, fed over 5,000 people with a few loaves and a few fish, taught about the love of God through the many parables that he told. In response to John the Baptist's disciples, when they asked him, "Are you the one?" he responded, "Go tell John what you hear and see. The blind regain their sight, the lame walk, lepers are cleansed, the deaf hear, the dead are raised, and the poor have the good news proclaimed to them." Jesus was clearly someone sent by God to do God's work. So the answers the apostles gave was, some say John the Baptist, others Elijah, and still others Jeremiah or one of the prophets. It was obvious that Jesus was held in very high esteem. Identifying Jesus with Elijah or Jeremiah was paying him great tribute and placing him on a high place. Then Jesus asked a more penetrating question, one that we might all ponder. He says, "And you, who do you say that I am?" At that question, there may have been a moment of silence, where the disciples were maybe almost afraid to answer. How would you answer that question? I think at that point, Peter came to a great realization. He said, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." Peter became the rock, the first person on earth to realize who Jesus was. Literally, the first member of the church. The beginning of each and every one of us here, disciples of the Lord. Every time we celebrate the Eucharist, Jesus asks each and every one of us in the consecration, "Who do you say I am?" My response is, "My Lord and my God." What is yours?